I want to bring up Ted DiBiase for the next presentation before the night goes too long. And he's one of the great success stories in the history of our business. He drew a ton of money around St. Louis with Harley Race, and that's before he ever went to the WWF and became the legendary $1 million man and drew all that money. And I'm very proud of him because when he was in college in Abilene, Texas with Terry Funk, he had his first professional match with him and he survived it. Ted DiBiase.
It's a pleasure to be here. I can't even begin to tell you. Before I talk about my friend, I just have to say this. This is actually it's the second time. The first time that I attended the Cauliflower Alley, I happened to be in Los Angeles at the time it was going on. I made a very brief appearance. I wasn't there for the full event. As many in this room know, I grew up in this industry. There are guys sitting in this room that were very near and dear to my father. Guys in this room who, upon my father's death, willing to take this young punk under their wing and show him the way. Harley Race rode to the hospital the night my father died with me. Terry Funk brought my father's gear to me the next day. These are things etched in my mind forever. And these same men helped me fine-tune my skills and are responsible for who I became in the wrestling industry, and I will be forever grateful. And it was said here tonight, but it is so true. This is a family. And it's a very special family, and I'm very proud of this family. The guy that I want to introduce, and I'm honored to introduce, and I'm glad he's being honored here tonight. I'm a minister now, and I travel all over the place, and I speak to a lot of men, and I challenge men to be real men. And I went through that phase in life where I thought that my masculinity was, was judged by how much beer I could drink, how big my biceps were, and what kind of car I drove, and all that other foolish stuff. But as I matured in life, I realized that the size of a man is measured by the size of his character and his integrity. And the measure of a man's integrity is his word. If a man's word's not good, he's worthless. And I found that in the sporting world today, not only in basketball and football and other professional sports, there's a lot of these team owners who are understanding it too, that they're investing all this money in these young men. And they can't afford to invest money in these young men, and then they're going to go out and kill somebody, do something stupid, and they've lost their investment. Even Vince McMahon understands that today, and he says, I don't just want very talented people, I want quality people who have character. And all of that I say to introduce this guy, because Art Cruz is one of those guys. I told Art Cruz down in Louisiana where we met, I said, Art, you're too nice to be in this business, man. He's the kind of guy that when he get in the ring with you, he was unselfish. It's pretty rare in wrestling. He was interested. He understood what he was there for. And I can remember one night, particularly at Houma, Louisiana, we had a match, and he hurt his knee, and I knew he was hurt really bad. And I said, let's end this thing right now. And he refused. He said, no. I'm here to make you look good tonight, and I'm going to. And he finished that match. And as we ended that match, and he got back in the dressing room and went to the hospital, we found out that he had torn his ACL. And I know what that's like, and I know what kind of pain that is. And for him to continue that match and saw through in that kind of pain speaks greatly of his character. And he's that kind of guy. He's a quality guy. And, we all have our ups and downs in life. And, the measure of a man is when you fall. There's no shame in falling. The shame is in not getting up, carrying on. And Art Cruz has always got up, always carried on. And this guy who used to wrestle me is now large and in charge. He is the overseer. He's the warden of a prison down near Corpus Christi, Texas. And one thing I'll say about that is the guys that he's overseeing in that prison are nearly as bad as the guys he dealt with in professional wrestling. But it is my honor and privilege to present to you a guy who is not defined by his wrestling, but he's defined by his character, and he's a fine man. He's a wonderful father and a tremendous husband as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Art Cruz.
Life. It's been interesting for every single one of us about our lives and our paths and where we end up. All I have to say before I really go is thank you very much, Jackie, for coming and myself and the other people in the audience. Bob Geigel, Harley Race, and God bless those that have left us in the walks of professional wrestling. Pat O'Connor, Ronnie Anderson, Ernie Ladd, and the names go on and on and on, from Murdoch's to everybody else. I had the wonderful privilege of growing up in this business and learning to really be a leader. And who taught me and gave me the skills and abilities and become the man that I am today? I owe it to 7 times world heavyweight champions, people that I stood by curtains and watched perform to audiences, to bring them up, to bring them down, to piss them off or make them happy and laugh and clap. Because they were the ones that knew exactly how to use psychology and how to exactly use things to build up audiences and to make wrestling what it is today. What I want to say first is I want to say to my love of my life, Judy, thank you for being the woman that I was hoping that you would be, and you are. And your support. It's been great. And my wonderful children that I have in my life, AJ, my oldest son, and Ashley, my oldest daughter, and my youngest daughter, Alexis. They're my pride and joys. That's what life's all about, right? Our wonderful children, and hoping that my young man can become maybe a second-generation wrestler. I was a first-generation wrestler. No one knew anything. Art Cruz, who's that? Who's that kid? I remember those days. But it was those men and promoters that were my bosses that I respected, that I went in, I looked them in the eye, and I told them, I will learn. I want you to teach me. And all you young wrestlers out there that want to be wrestlers today, the best thing I can say to you is be a sponge. Absorb everything you can, and you watch and you learn, and you'll learn from the greatest. And wrestling fans, what I have to say to everybody in here, whether you're reporters, magazine writers, photographers, whatever it is for the industry, you made professional wrestling what it was back then, and even what it is today. And without you, I would have never probably had the courage and the fortitude to even begin a second career and to hang my boots up. I didn't really know I was hanging my boots up as a career. I knew it was going to be law enforcement or corrections because my family was in that business and occupation. And I knew that whatever I wanted to do was going to be hard because I knew I was going to miss wrestling. I called Harley Race here a few months ago, talked to Bob Geigel off and on, and like I told Harley, and I had a tear in my eye when I talked to him because I wanted him to know that I never wanted to quit the business. Because I knew, as well as some of the other great performers in this business, they knew I had talent. I was lucky. I never had the talent. I wasn't born with it. I had to watch it and observe it. And I had the great opportunities to have the great Gene Kaninsky's of the world, Pat O'Connor's, to go with an hour. You go 60 minutes in the ring and you keep a crowd with you, What does that tell you, professionals? What is it? That you can hang with the best. It didn't make you the best. And that's where I was always at with the bar of leadership and working as a professional athlete, as well as a professional now in the field of corrections. I'm not the best. I never will be, but I will strive to be towards the top. Elmore Atlas, you're a great friend. You're a lovely wife as well. You were there to support me. You were my idol when I was growing up as a professional. The handsome Harley race I watched a lot. But you know, when I got out there and I really sat there with promoters and I watched and I learned. Pat O'Connor was known as the man of 1,000 moves. Believe me, the man had true moves. And that was the big thing, and I hope, I don't know, Ted's been filling me in about the generation of professional wrestling today and how things have changed. We used to work 6, 7 nights a week. If you didn't work, you didn't get paid. You get hurt? Oh well, best of luck. If you don't work, you don't get paid. And that's not, I'm telling you, in the field I'm in corrections, that made me tough. That made me what I am today, I believe. That made me learn about true work ethic. It made me learn, like Ted saying, you're hurt, so you need to go home. No, I'm here to make you look good. My job as a middleman, you know, you look on the internet and you see Art Cruz undercard wrestling. Terry funny. I laugh. You know, I laugh. Terry will laugh. Professionals that know that work with me in the ring, Andre the Giant, etc., they know that I gave it my best. I gave it 110%. And my job was this. Here's my job. Was to make everybody in that audience believe that it was real. Because it was real. And it was all part of our life. Anybody ever tells me even to this day, inmate, offender, detainee, or whoever it may be, that says, oh, you're one of those fake wrestlers, I'll look them right in the eye and I'll tell them, you respect the business I came out of. Or I'll show you how fake it really was. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to tell all the friends and colleagues that I worked with in the corrections industry that came here on the long trip, Kelly, Michael, I want to tell you all thanks for being here. Thank you for coming. All you wrestling fans, all you ex-professionals that we worked together or we didn't, or we heard about each other here and there. I learned a lot in the business. And Bob Geigel, Pat O'Connor, Harley Race gave me that opportunity. Don Owens, Elton, Owen, hey kid, I heard you wrestled for Kansas. Get out there and shoot. You know, you heard the heart stories and everything, and you hear everything, and I tell you what, Bulldog Bob Brown gave me the true Canadian taste of what Canada was all about. And like I said, respect the squared circle. Because whoever got in that ring, whether it was a fan or whoever, it was someone that was offending us. And we made sure we took that person down before we left that night from that town. Up and down the roads and everything with the boys, the guys, we call these the boys, whether you were with the girl wrestlers, professional women wrestling today, my hat's off to you and the best of luck. But remember this, the only thing you have left, like Ted was saying, and with what we have with the Lord, is our reputation. That's what we die with, that's what we end with. We all go through the chain and the cycle. And I just want to tell everybody here in this room, I'm proud and honored for the Cauliflower Alley Club and everything that you've done for me in the professional wrestling business to carry my career on now for 22 years in the field of corrections. I salute and bow all of you. Because without you, I couldn't be Art Cruz like I am today. Thank you.
Okay, this Iron Mike Award here is being presented to a gentleman that I met for the very first time in 1956. I was a young kid selling peanuts at the arena. wasn't really that young. I was born in 38, so I was, 18. And this young man was like 21. He had only had maybe 15, 20 matches, but he went on to become one of the most respected and admired professional wrestlers the world has ever had. Every area he ever went to, he held a world title. He was the longest reigning AWA world champion. Mr. Nick Bockwinkel. Nick Dr. Father Jason was praying for him. Boy, was he praying for him. Mr. Bockwinkel, you joined a very elite group of about 16 other people. 6 of them up here on the stage that all think you're the greatest. I know you're the greatest because you call me every day at 4 o'clock and tell me what you and the dog are doing that day. Every time you take the dog for a walk, I get a call. Yeah. Anyway, Nick, these people all love you. There's no question about it. You know I do. You know these guys do. Let's have a few of them 50-cent words that you're so famous for.
Okay, you guys are not a group of obsequious psychopaths. A little bit of a surprise for me. You know, I work so closely with the committee that puts it all together. We do the grunt and the groan work, and Carl here, and he keeps telling us what to do and where to go and how to do it. So I had no idea that this was coming. So it was a surprise. Warren Bockwinkel, he'll be pleased. Very much so. A dear man who was extremely humble, extremely caring for family, and he loved this profession. And as he took the time to train me, I mean, to tell you, I didn't want to make a mistake because I was going to get slapped in the back of the head with an open hand, and he was going to call me something like a drunk, you know what. So, not necessarily a championship belt, but it is damn close to it. So I thank you.
Nick, I have something to present to you. I talked to Nick about 2 weeks ago, and he said, did you see the cartoon in the ear? There was a cartoon in the ear, and I had it blown up, and it's Nick Bockwinkel pinning Vern Gagne. With the help of Mad Dog and a few other people.